Hey everybody, this is Alan from OC Nerf, and today we are going to be taking a look at this, which is the Xploderz, I believe it's the X2. I don't know exactly because there's no other names other than this one right here that says Xploderz on this blaster. And I'm not too familiar with the Xploderz line. However, just from a quick search, I believe this is the X2. Actually, there's some text here. Either way, this isn't really so much a review as much as it's a look at the internals of this blaster and what potential it has for us in the modding realm. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and open this up and take a look at what's inside. Okay, we've got everything unscrewed. There's about a couple of tabs on these sides. I think I tried to show it to you that need to be popped off. This also needs to be popped off the front, and this needs to come off as well, and it is screwed on both sides. So once you've undone all that, pop the tabs and everything, they should lift right open, and now we're going to get to see what the internals look like. Okay. Here we go. And if you guys have ever used this, you'll know that they come with a hopper up here that you fill with these kind of like BB size, or not BB size, but kind of like a little water paintball sized balls that you have to grow for like 4 or 5 hours. I don't know how long it is. And you stick it in that hopper, it feeds in here, air gets pumped through here, pushes one of them out through the front, and that's how this system works. Okay, so that being said, this is a rather large plunger tube, and the air goes from inside here through this clear tube here that you can see. I'm going to go ahead and move this closer to the camera. So here's the large plunger tube, here's the brackets that turn it and bring it right through here. I'm going to go ahead and take this out. And this is where the hopper would rest, and it kind of shoots out through here on this drawstring that opens the flap and shoots out the little pellets. Okay, I can take that off as well. Alright, so now you know what's inside of here. Let's pull stuff out. There we go. I'm going to put that aside. Actually, let's take a look at that for a minute. So here's that lever that pulls that open. Kind of cool little system here. Just a piece of string pulling on that kind of chamber right there. So we'll put that aside and we'll take a look at this. Rather large plunger tube and rather large and fairly decent spring. Cool things that I like about these springs, excuse me, is that unlike Nerf or Buzz Bee products, they've got a trigger system for most of their blasters, which means you can store potential energy. So you'd prime it, and it would compress the spring, and it would kind of stay there until you released it with a trigger. Xploderz lines don't have that on any of the blasters I've ever seen of theirs. There's no trigger to speak of. What that means is there's no chance that somebody who decided, I'm done playing with this toy, would have just stuck it in a garage and left it primed for, you know, months, maybe years on end until they decided to give it away. So the springs stay pretty much as good as they were out of the box. So that's kind of the awesome thing about that. Like I said, this is a pretty large plunger tube. Definitely good use for something else down the road. There it goes. Here's this tube. And we're just kind of breaking everything apart here. Here is the connector to the hopper mechanism. that opens and closes based on a lever here, so that it can drop one little tiny pellet at a time into this system. There we go. And then shoots it right out of this barrel. Very, very interesting system. Very large plunger tube. Very respectable spring. Very inefficient air delivery system. So, there we go with that. Don't know what the sizing of this is, but it's kind of interesting. And here we have ourselves a plunger tube. There we go. There's I think, some kind of air restrictor in there or something. Yeah, it looks like there is right in there. I don't think you can see it in that dark space, but it's in there. And now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to pop this spring off. So where's let me go grab some other tools. Okay, this is not a screw of any kind, so we're going to go ahead and twist and pull. So just grab some needles, nose pliers, twisted and pulled, and that little peg comes out, and this whole assembly comes loose. And now we've got, as I mentioned, a rather large spring, respectable in its weight capacity. So, pretty good. So I've also brought with me a few springs to give you a size comparison. So this is the spring that it comes with. Okay. And this is a Orange Modworks 10 kilogram Longshot Spring. For comparison, this is a, believe, a Retaliator spring, and this is, I want to say, an Ace cut spring that I cut down for other things. I used half of it for another project. So this gives you an idea of where we're at with the spring sizes, hopefully. So it's a little bit smaller than the Longshot Spring and would actually thread in rather nicely, but it is significantly longer, but that could be to its benefit. Okay, and there you have it. So this video is really just about taking a look at what's inside the mod potential of this, so hopefully the spring comparisons will give you an idea of what you can do with that. Of course, there's a whole lot of potential for just using something like this that you already have. This isn't that great of a seal, to be honest with you. In fact, it's just basically the way this seal works. You can tell is there's no O-ring here, so there's definitely a gap. There's not even a flaring out like there would be in some other blasters that would kind of flare out to at least give it some kind of good seal. There just isn't one. It just kind of goes in there and pushes the pressure in there. Like I said, a really large plunger tube, really strong and sturdy priming rod, respectable spring, really long length. This will go really well with something like a Big Bad Bow, for example, but a terrible air delivery system. This being one of the big key components. Not a good air seal, in fact not really a solid air seal at all, and then it snakes around through the tubes to try to shoot out the air. So that's it for this Xploderz X2, and if you have any other questions about it, let me know. I know there's modders out there from way back in the day. I think Forsaken Angel made a trigger modification for not this one, but a rather large, one of the larger ones. I think it was the Ranger, and made it into a system that could shoot micro-sized darts. And I think he may have also done it to shoot the old school Megas. I don't remember. It was a video from a long time ago. So Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like this video. If there are other blasters that you kind of want to see, just kind of opened up to see what we can do for the mod potential, give me a shout out and I will see if I have that blaster or if I can find one and open it up just like this for you so we can take a look at what's inside. Alright everybody, you have a good day and Nerf on.